Happy Monday, Clinton County, Wilmington, Ohio, 45177. Big controversy over the destruction of Casey Pitzer's rape kit. And the big question and their big answer, I know what it's going to be. Well, it was time to destroy. We could do it. The time had elapsed. This wasn't considered a rape. It was considered the case is closed. But in reality, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, but the officer who was on that stated he didn't destroy any rape kit. So he said it might have been on that list, but he knows better. And he states there's no way in hell that he would destroy a rape kit because that's just something that I guess it's beaten into their brains not to destroy. So, but let's look a little deeper, shall we? Josh Riley, in 2018, I believe it was being investigated here in Wilmington, Ohio, 45177 for a huge sex scandal. If you would ever like the investigation on that on paper, where you can read it for yourself to find out just how disgusting that POS was, let me know. I'll gladly send it to you. But he was the same detective on Casey Pitzer's case. But in 2018, he was being investigated by BCI. So I wonder why the destruction of a rape kit during the investigation of that same detective who lied to Casey Pitzer's family, saying two people passed their polygraphs and they lied. So, what say you? Why would he even order the destruction of a rape kit out of all? I mean, I wonder how many other rape kits were destroyed. From what I hear, they're rarely ever destroyed. Just because they're supposed to be kept for 30 years, because there could be potential DNA, and somebody, it could be like a serial rapist or a serial killer. Who knows? Stand by, folks. But yeah, I mean, do you think that's a little strange, a little odd? So the detective who's lied probably about shit tons of things concerning Casey Pitzer's death and the investigation, under investigation by BCI for a sex scandal, which, by the way, he was recommended for 6 criminal charges. Wilmington, Ohio made sure he only got 1 and paid him to retirement. And if you'd read some of the statements by some of the females, you would. But his daddy was the mayor at the time. But who knows? I mean, he was framed. He didn't do that. Bullshit. No. I mean, they caught him lying in the investigation while talking to him. They caught him in lies. You got to read it, guys. And unless you have, it's don't go to bat for someone out of hearsay. These are professional investigators, not like the ones, like Josh Riley, who is definitely not professional. Otherwise, he'd still be working, wouldn't he? So these are professionals. I would like to call them professional investigators. Who were questioning this individual, and they caught him lying on more than one occasion. They even state it. So, what say you? Do you think Judge Rudduck destroyed that rape kit too soon? It's a question. My opinion? Yeah. Do I think it's fishy? Oh yeah, I do. But I do think that one is going to be movie worthy. I believe Netflix, or I mean, this is here's the thing. This is growing. This is growing. It's not diminishing like some think. This is growing. There's more than just one news representative here in Wilmington, Ohio. I can assure you that. In fact, I promise you that. So, the rape kit, and here's another kind of fishy thing. Miss Allison, who I'm not going to say the last names, who also has been demanding her rape kit locally here with one. They're denying her access to her own rape kit, stating that case was sealed. You can't seal a case from the freaking victim. And I'll tell you why, because some of the things she's saying is, boy, if what she's saying is accurate, the same lawyer represented both the victim and the perpetrator? That the family paid for that lawyer? And that her mother wasn't permitted while she was being questioned? And her mother is vouching for this? Oh, there was yeah. So, anyway, but they still have hers. Her rape kit is still intact. They sent her a picture of it, and she's going to get it. First of all, we're going to find out why that case was sealed, because you have to have permission by both parties. Signed off. Like the parental alienation case up here when they tried to seal that case, and both parents said, "Nah, we're not interested in that." Sorry, Magistrate Helen Rollins. Sorry, Christy. But do they secretly seal them? I bet you they do. But this parent and this Miss Allison doesn't remember anybody asking her if it was okay to seal the case. So that's a problem. And now they're refusing the victim access to her rape kit. In fact, I think that might be a constitutional problem. I mean, I really do. But anyway, back to Casey's case. Detectives being investigated. Was this person trying to get rid of all of the skeletons that could possibly pop up and say, "Wait a minute"? I don't know. But I do know, according to the Ohio Revised Code, it states you're supposed to keep that rape kit's biological evidence for 30 years. It had only been 5. So when ladies and gentlemen, there's nobody out there, that can tell me this doesn't stink, because it stinks. It stinks bad. It stinks bad. And that little POS had the audacity to walk over with rocks in his hands and hand them to the family and say she was standing on this when they found her in the water. She wasn't standing on shit. She was face down. So, okay. I believe at some point it's going to come to the exhuming of her body and real forensics people are going to get involved, and real answers are going to be had, because now Mr. Pitzer has Marcy's law rights, and you can look that up to see what rights he has. And I would fair warning to any reporter that's wanting to shine a negative light on this, that you're going to be shitting on a victim who has now been given Marcy's law rights. So tread lightly. I would just give that advice. That's not a threat. I mean, I'm just saying. I would imagine Mr. Pitzer would probably go after anybody that would try some ignorant shit like that. But as has Miss Allison, she's been given Marcy's law rights, so they're now state recognized victims. So they get certain rights that they should already be forwarded. But for some odd reason, I mean, I got to tell you, I'm going to be forthwith, and this is just me. I'm going to tell you right now, if that were my child, and someone was withholding evidence from her that's hers, I'm going to be at that city building standing morning to night until it's provided. And the hell that I raised, it would just be loud, be very loud. I'd be driving to DC. I would be doing things that, and I'm sure this Miss Alice is probably doing, because if some of you have seen some of her outbursts on social media, well, put yourself in her shoes. That's all you got to do. I mean, some people say, "Oh, she wasn't raped. She did it willingly. She had sex with everybody." So you're telling me somebody who is sexually promiscuous can't be raped? Are you serious? Are you telling me that someone who enjoyed sex a lot can't be raped? Is that what some of you shitbags are saying? Really? That's those assholes who call women whores and sluts, but yet they're doing the same thing. And they pound their chest and call themselves studs. Well, you're assholes is what you are. You're shallow, hypocritical pieces of shit. That's what I call you. You can't do that. Call a woman those names and you're doing the same thing. What I mean, if she likes sex, so what? That's her prerogative. Have at it. There's nothing. Who doesn't? By all means. I mean, it's. I mean, if it's what you call it, if it's not against her will, I mean, but apparently this time she says it was, and so I can, yeah, that one's not going away either. I can't imagine that one going to, especially when they're keeping her rape kit from her. That's but anyway, if you give an opinion, I mean, should Judge Rudduck under any circumstance should he have destroyed biological evidence? And keep in mind, it was not ruled as a suspicious death. It was ruled as an accidental drowning. But you got to know the facts behind that, don't you? Because, okay, let's play the game. I jumped out of a car, which we're all saying that didn't happen the way they said it did. The car didn't go down 134 because we've caught a couple people in lies like that, and we've got them on recorded lying. So first she was here, first she was there, first she was here, first she was there. When you see something that has that much impact on you, you're not going to forget. Sorry. No. But she leaped out of a car, ran across 4 lanes of highway, jumped a fence, pulled her boots off, and walked into the water. That's essentially what these people are trying to sell you, America. That there was some combative behavior. She jumped out of the car. She ran across 4 lanes of highway, having an idea where she was at. Because I will tell you right now, she might have been intoxicated, but she wasn't as intoxicated as everybody says, because we got the video now. All of it. So, people say she wasn't dancing, we were trying to get her. That's all she was doing. So, these people are lying their asses off. So, anyway, yeah, you have to believe a whole lot of the stuff. You got to read the case, and then the detective who sends 2 people for polygraphs. Oh, they passed with flying colors. Yeah, they're good. They didn't do anything. Was a lie. They failed. And then when he's under investigation, did he say, "Hey, we got to get rid of this. We got to get rid of this. Just throw it in there." And whoever uses a stamp, they'll stamp it and hey, just throw it in there. Make sure it's in there for destruction. But don't you have to have a hearing to destroy a rape kit? I'm not sure about that. I don't know, but I would love to. I would love for anybody who does know. I would like some input on that. But I pray for every victim that's been victimized by inept, very insecure shitbags in powerful positions. I pray for that, because we do have good employees here. We do have good cops here, and we do have good lawyers here. But there's a handful of them, guys, that make you all look like shit. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is, and it takes a long time to get rid of that stigma. It does. It really does. I mean, back in, I think it was 90 something, when and I think it was the Marine in the Philippines or Okinawa or one of the two no, it wasn't a Marine, it was a sailor that raped. There was a Marine that was allegedly there, and they found out he wasn't, but it was a sailor that I don't know. Anyway, both branches looked like shit for a long time as an entirety. So, ladies and gentlemen who work here with pride, and you don't like to be known or thrown into the soup of shit, get out of it. Don't do it. Report it. Get rid of it. You have the ability to do that. Those people aren't as powerful as what you think. They're not. They're just a bunch of people, bunch of crooked assholes covering for one another, and the floor is going to soon fall through. It is. It always does. It always does. Especially when you've got people, a lot of people who are strong on the scent, and that aren't going to let it just fade away like they're expecting. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not going to happen here. These things aren't fading away. Because there's I mean, yeah, I also pray for Casey's dad. I do. There's there's a few choice, a handful of idiots out there. I wish Daryl Tony let that family. Hey, dumbasses. The family came to us for help, and we read it, and we said, wow. And if you didn't know the two people involved, you would probably be on the same boat as over 4,000 people in 2 days wanting that case reopened. No, day and a half. Over 4,000 people. So while you think there's many who share your opinion, let me assure you, no, they don't. No, they don't. So it's put it all together, folks, and you've got one big huge lump of it's. I'm sorry, it just looks corrupt to me. I mean, and I believe it to be. So, what say you, ladies and gentlemen? 5 years, rape kit destroyed. Irregardless of what the charge was, why would they destroy it during the investigation of the very detective who was caught lying? Mr. Riley, I have a feeling you're going to be called to testify one day. In fact, I bet you've already spoke to a lawyer, the local team lawyer, right? Well, yeah. So anyway, like I said, and I think most people can agree, this is going to get blown up into either a book or a Netflix series. Small town USA crime cover up by law enforcement. And what's sad is you can't just say cop, because it's law enforcement. There was more than one involved in this, and they know. It's just like, yep, just another cover up. Well, we got to take care of this. But here's the thing, man. I bet you there's a lot of people regretting the shit out of that now. And again, 5 years, folks. Supposed to be 30 years. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the record itself could be destroyed, I think, but not the rape kit. I think biological evidence has to be kept if it's a part of any case. But there again, they said, oh, this is all we got. And then they have a court hearing. Here they come, dumping a pile of stack of papers of records. Wait a minute. We thought that's all you had. And here this judge is saying, well, that's all they have, when it wasn't. You just handed us 5 inches of shit here that nobody's had a chance to look at. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to be looking forward to November the 8th. I'm going regardless. Well, that is if they even have hearings. If he doesn't accept the 31, I don't know. But I know from what I understand, it's going to be they're going to hearings. And irregardless, they say judges have immunity from lawsuits. Not this one, buddy. You better look real close. You better read real hard. Accusing someone of being a criminal who's not been formally charged ever using your position, well, sir, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. But then go even further to degrade myself, my service, saying I'm using my service to as a pilot to push my cause. You fucking piece of shit. Go to hell. You're a fucking loser. That's what you are. You're a fucking little low life loser. These are my opinions, and I would gladly share them to your face because that's what you are. A piece of shit. You take things that people say, you take them out of context, and you run with them and try to get attention, just like that shitbag boy of yours. My opinion. Yeah, throwing hammers at children. That's playing. That's playing in your eyes. Really? So you realize you've just set the standard for the community members here in Clinton County. And some of these addicts around here, oh, well, the judge's kid throws hammers at it, and it's just considered play. Well, I'm going to go play with my kids too. But nah, I don't want a hammer. I want a monkey wrench. So, yeah, I mean, they'll take something here and they'll make it so dramatic. But anyway, yeah, I didn't use my service to my country to pilot anything, you fucking piece of shit. What I did do is say how another veteran could do that to another veteran. Because where I come from, yeah, that don't happen. Not the military I served. Nah. Nope. So, again, I will definitely be there November 8th with a stack of my information that I'm going to submit outside what's already been submitted. I know there's been piles and piles and piles of things sent. By the way, the city's going to have the city of Wilmington is going to have an opportunity to either tell the truth or be added as a defendant. It makes no difference to me. But bear in mind, in discovery, once I push play on this, we find out the real reason Mr. Fithen stated the case was closed or not being pursued any further. Isn't that right, Mr. Fithen? I hope you didn't tell the judge it was because of me, because that's going to be even bigger problems. Yeah, it really is. But there again, I mean, this sort of looks like harassment. I mean, same officer who falsely arrested me by the same son prosecuting by the judge, whose dad's the judge whose judge's boy is who is prosecuting me, who then goes to social media, charges, and then convicts me. Really? Well, at the time, bear in mind, folks, when this happened, we were actively being prosecuted. Weren't we, Mr. Rudduck? How'd that work out for you? And so I mean, what really pisses me off is that this is how these people operate. They don't care because they're not losing money. They got an insurance company to take care of them on that. And that's the shitty part. I don't care. You know, I do. I wish it was the individuals where they had to, go, ransom their house or, for another 60 years, refinance their home. I call it ransom. I bet you money, if some of these public officials had to pay out of pocket for their foul ups, I will bet you $1 million they would think twice before acting shitty. But they have each other to cover for them. They have an insurance company to pay their bills when they do foul up. So they just act recklessly and freely at will. That's how it works. That's how they do it. My opinion. Again, all this is my opinion, and I can have those opinions. There's that. 1A, baby. First Amendment. Anyway. Dot. Oh my God. Yeah. Yep. The frivolous things that I don't know. But I hope, again, I pray for the victims. And again, rape kit destroyed in 5 years, folks. Casey Pitzer's rape kit, whose 2 alleged suspects failed their polygraphs, Same detective being investigated when that rape kit was destroyed was recommended for 6 criminal charges. One of them, I believe, was making him a sexual predator, or one of them was a sexual. I know there was a lot of sexual charges. Just go back and look up sex scandal, Wilmington, Ohio, 2018. Simplify. God bless.